Hello friends, hi everyone, I am Sanyukta and today we are going to be learning the tangle pattern Bunzo. Yes, Bunzo is another Zentangle original and it is one of the tangles which has basically only one elemental stroke, and that is the C shape, this shape. Yes, the pattern Bunzo is made up of only one elemental stroke, which is the C shape, or we can also call it a crescent or a parenthesis or a bracket, whatever you feel like, right? And it is also called a drama tangle because it has some bold inked portions, and because of which whenever we use a Bunzo, it immediately adds a lot of drama to our tile. So you can see here I have drawn two C shapes joined together, right? And now I am going to be inking the C shape with a highlight in between. Highlight is nothing but leaving a small portion uninked so that it gives the effect of a luster or a shine, right? So this is the basic stroke, or what we call the start of the pattern Bunzo. So again a C shape and one more C shape to go with it. Again coloring or inking the C shapes. So I'm going to be drawing this series of C shapes with pairs of these shapes inked together, leaving a empty space in between, right? So two shapes together inked, then we left one space open, again two of them inked together, again two C shapes joined together, left a highlight in between. So that's the basic pattern Bunzo. So is it that Bunzo has to be drawn in this manner only? No. The fun part of Bunzo is the C shapes generally go crazy and they can move in just about any direction, right? So I'm going to be showing you some different arrangements, how Bunzo can look differently depending on how are you drawing these C shapes, right? So they can move about in just any direction. So if you want to make a flower out of it, or you want to make a spiral out of it, or any other space that you want to fill in using Bunzo, you just need to play with these two C shapes and they would fit in anywhere, right? So this is the basic elemental stroke of Bunzo. So you can see here I am turning my Bunzo now, leaving a highlight and coloring the rest, right? So my Bunzo has already taken a turn. So you can maneuver it the way you want. It can move about in any direction. Just remember the basic stroke. Pair of C shapes inked with a gap in between, right? So that's Bunzo. So what are the other ways in which you can draw it? You can start Bunzo like this, right? And then go on adding the other C shapes in this manner. Start Bunzo like this and then add the other C shapes in this manner, right? I'll show you how. So you can have a look here. This is again bunzo arranged in the form somewhat like a flower. This is again bunzo going crazy and moving in just about any direction. This is again bunzo. If you complete this, then it looks like a flower, right? These are all bunzos. Again bunzo looking like an 8 or something like this, right? So you can draw and maneuver the consecutive C shapes in about any way and play around with it. So this is an example of how it can move about in just any direction, and you can fill any space with the help of this pattern, right? So we now move on to our tile. You can see here I am using a very simple string. These are basically printums or spirals, as you may say, and I am going to use this string to draw my bunzo, right? So let us start right away, starting with my C shape. If you don't want to leave a space empty, you can also add a highlight using your white charcoal, right? It serves the same purpose. In case you find it difficult or you don't want your hands to be limited to stop every time to leave a gap, then just color the C and use a white charcoal to highlight, right? That can also be done. So I am just moving my bunzo with the string, right? Since it's a spiral string, I am just maneuvering my C shapes with the spiral, adding a highlight in between, or a sparkle as they say. As I mentioned earlier, bunzo adds great drama to your tile because it has bold inked portions, right? So any tangle, just like jetties, which has bold inked portions, immediately gives a lift to your tile. So I am just moving my C shapes on the spiral, right? Again, if you wish, you can draw all the C shapes first and then choose to color it, right? Like that. So just see, we have unknowingly formed a somewhat hard kind of a shape in between, right? So again, so you can see I am drawing nothing but C shapes, leaving a space between two, again inking the next two, again leaving a space between them, again inking the next two, right? So it's a one stroke pattern and you can see how the look is, right? So let us now start the next one, right? Probably I'll extend this one till here and draw one more like this. So is it that all the C shapes have to be of the same size? No. Since you have to fit it in any space, you have to also play around with the space, right? So again, starting the next one. Let's ink it completely and we'll see how the white charcoal works, right? I'm going to ink this one completely and we'll try to add the highlight using our white charcoal, right? Again repeating the same exercise. Just moving with the spiral. Just take your time. There are many tangles in Zentangle which require a lot of inking. Basically a cluster of dots and a very integral part of the Zentangle method in practice. So don't haste up even if the tangle involves pure inking, right? Whether it is crescent moon or jetties, or for that matter just filling up the backgrounds or the spaces between hollywog. Just go slow, take your time. And enjoy your tile getting black from white, right? In portions. Yes. So you can see how the tangle is turning out to be. Just moving in the spiral, taking a cue from the pencil string that I've drawn. If you wish to overlook the string, you can. That's why it is drawn in a pencil, right? So if you think that you don't want to be bound by it, there's a better idea you have while drawing the tile. Go for it. Right. So here my bunzo is going under, right? Again it is going under this bunzo, so I am just making sure that I don't cover up the next spiral, and we have the effect of drawing under or drawing behind, right? The hollywog effect. Also, when you have overlaps, shading gives a great effect, because shading the overlaps gives a great effect to the tile, right? So again repeating the same exercise. Make sure there are no empty patches left. Take your time. Right. So finishing the second spiral. Almost done. right? So I'm going to be doing the same exercise with all the spirals here, right? So you can see here I have almost completed filling up all my bunzos, and I am at the last lap. So in one or two I have not added a highlight, and I'll show you how you can use your charcoal pencil to give the same effect. But in most of my spirals I have added a highlight. So that's how the tile looks after I have finished filling up all my spirals with the pattern bunzo. So now we come to shading. So we generally add graphite on the inside or on both sides of the pattern bunzo, right? Either one side or on both the edges, again the way you wish to, and just leave the highlight the way it is, right? So just going to smudge it, the light hand. Just ensure that you don't cover up the entire bunzo with grey. So that's one way to shade your bunzo, either the inside edge or on both the edges, both the ends. The other way is, in case you have drawn bunzo in this manner, you can also add some graphite on the inside of the C shape, like this, right? So this is one more way to shade your bunzo, to add some graphite on the inside. Another way is, for example, if you drawn your bunzo in this manner, again I am adding graphite on the two edges, right? Just blend it. So this is also one way, just in case you have drawn your bunzo in this fashion, then these curls pop up as you darken the ends, right? So we are now going to shade our tile. I am just going to be adding some graphite on one side, right? So with the light hand, just going to smudge. Just ensure that you don't cover up the whole thing. Right. Again, this is the second spiral. Some graphite on the inside. Right, again with a very light hand, just smudging. not covering the entire bunzo. Right. You can always add some graphite at these overlaps. Looks good. Right. Gives the feeling of going under. Again, some graphite on the inside. The very gentle hand. Right. Again. Again a small overlap here, so you can highlight. Right. So you can see here how our bunzos are popping up. Again, some graphite on the inside. Just a touch of graphite to the outline. Very light hand. Right. Now we are going to smudge this. Right. Again, you can highlight the overlap. Again, highlight the overlap. Right. So I'm going to be shading all the spirals in the same way. So you can see here I have almost finished shading the bunzos, and now I'll be adding a highlight using my white charcoal. Right. So this is the bunzo where I have not added any highlight with my pen. So I am just going to be using my white charcoal and drawing a line in between my bunzo, just the way I add a highlight with my pen, doing the same exercise with my white charcoal. Right. So you can see here it is looking like a shine on my bunzo. Right. Yes. So we'll do the same exercise, since in rest of the bunzos we have already added a highlight. Just giving a touch of white charcoal in the portion which is not shaded. Right. Yeah, just like that. Just giving a touch of white charcoal to the portion which I have not shaded. To highlight it. right? So you can see here how the white charcoal adds to the effect of giving a highlight. So I'm doing the same exercise in all my bunzos. Right, again adding a highlight to the part which I have not shaded, basically trying to make the other part a bit lighter. Right, so I think I'm almost done. So yes, so that's about it. So this is the tangle pattern bunzo. You can see how simple C shapes arranged together created the beautiful tile, right? So I'm now going to initial my tile. Take a moment to appreciate your tile, such a beautiful tile that you have created with such easy strokes, right? Sign and date my tile. And we'll meet again with another Zentangle original pattern. Till then, take care and goodbye.